I think the comedy as a genre, well, it started from the Lumiere brothers in 1895 thereabouts with the Watering Gardener, very short movie. But back then it was all to do entertainment, so it was all the films were about, well, it was to do instead of theater and going from town to town to do something funny, and that could be projected in several towns. But then there was no sound yet, so a lot of the comedy had to be physical comedy. And it's something that a lot of people still relate to because it's very instinctual, so that hasn't changed. Adding sound to comedy has made it easier in certain things because you can communicate, be it with jokes, be it with double entendre, be it with several different things. So in my case, I believe that comedy is very human. It is something that, as with any genre, it's something that is comedy is humanity. You can have every day of your life you will have it is not just going to be super boring. There's going to be something funny, there's going to be something sad, there's going to be something that makes you think about something different. Comedy is the same. It's not always, because life is not always funny, life is not always drama. So I think comedy has evolved from slapstick comedy and just having absurd situations into something that everybody as a human being can relate to. And now, for example, on my films, if I do something serious, there is always something funny with it. And I think a lot of comedies in Ireland and around the world have evolved into, it's not always just funny things. There's a bit of sadness in it, there's a bit of sometimes scary bits, horror bits. Comedy and horror, I think, are very similar. There's a very fine line between the two. You can make comedy horrific, and you can make horror funny, comedic. But I think as storytellers, we are becoming more aware that nothing is black and white. So it's they still make comedies in the US, in the USA, that they are only funny with no political say or anything. Is just to make people laugh, to entertain, which is what the origin of comedy was anyway, to entertain people. But now there's a lot of ones with political say, or if somebody wants to do something, a personal statement, they can use comedy for it as well. In a lot of countries before, they used to do, to educate the farmers, they would do little plays outside if they were on strike, and they were always small pieces of a comedic little piece, and that way you could not also entertain but educate the people about what was going on with their strikes and politically. So comedy has a big thing. Like, I think it's perhaps the most difficult genre in film, and the most underrated. So it's good to have a festival like this where it's appreciated.